Australia's mainland lost its spotted marsupial carnivore decades ago. Rodent populations surged unchecked. Then 20 eastern quolls stepped off a transport truck. 3 months later, wild-born quolls appeared for the first time in half a century. How did extinction reverse this quickly? For more than 40 million years, eastern quolls roamed southeastern Australia as nature's perfect pest controllers. These cat-sized marsupials, with their distinctive white spots against dark fur, were ecosystem engineers, maintaining balance across forests, grasslands, and coastal scrublands. They weren't just wildlife, they were essential workers keeping ecosystems functioning. Aboriginal communities incorporated these clever hunters into cultural stories and ecological knowledge, recognizing their importance to country for thousands of years. By the mid-20th century, quolls remained common enough that farmers had a love-hate relationship with them, cursing when they raided chicken coops, but appreciating their relentless control of mice, rats, and crop-destroying insects. A single quoll could capture hundreds of rodents monthly, providing free pest management across millions of hectares. Then came collapse. European settlement introduced a deadly combination: foxes and cats that preyed on quolls, widespread habitat clearing that eliminated their homes, and poison baits meant for other animals that killed them indiscriminately. The decline happened with shocking speed. By 1963, when the last confirmed mainland eastern quoll was found dead near Sydney, an evolutionary presence spanning tens of millions of years had been erased in less than 2 centuries. The consequences were immediate and severe. Without their primary predator, native rodent populations exploded across southeastern Australia. These unchecked rodents devastated seed banks, preventing forest regeneration and disrupting the delicate balance of ecosystems that had evolved with quoll predation. Tasmania became the species' final refuge, though even there populations declined by over 50% due to habitat loss, roadkill, and disease. Scientists and conservationists didn't give up. Multiple reintroduction attempts in the 1990s and 2000s tried to bring quolls back to protected mainland areas. But these efforts failed within months. Released animals simply disappeared without trace, likely falling victim to foxes, cats, or inability to find sufficient food in unfamiliar territory. Captive breeding programs faced their own challenges, with high mortality rates and behavioral problems in zoo-born quolls that never learned crucial survival skills. The outlook was bleak. Scientists estimated successful mainland re-establishment would take decades, if it was possible at all. What changed this pessimistic forecast began with a radical rethinking of conventional wisdom. Instead of releasing captive-bred animals with no survival experience, researchers partnered with Tasmanian wildlife managers to source wild-caught quolls with proven ability to hunt, avoid predators, and thrive in natural settings. Boundary National Park on Australia's southeast coast was chosen as the release site for specific advantages. It had predator-proof fencing to limit fox incursions, diverse habitat types matching quoll preferences, and perhaps most importantly, a partnership with the Wreck Bay Aboriginal community, whose rangers carried traditional ecological knowledge of quoll behaviour. The preparation was meticulous. Wreck Bay Aboriginal rangers identified optimal release sites based on traditional knowledge passed through generations, describing where quolls historically denned and hunted. Fox and cat control intensified for a full year before release, creating a predator-reduced environment that would give the quolls a fighting chance. Motion sensor cameras were installed across 50 strategic locations to track every movement and behavior once the animals arrived. What made this attempt fundamentally different was the release protocol. 20 quolls, 12 females, and 8 males were captured in Tasmania and underwent minimal captivity time, just enough for health checks and fitting with lightweight GPS collars. They were released in family groups during autumn 2023, strategically timed to allow territory establishment before the winter breeding season. Each quoll carried a GPS collar transmitting location data every 4 hours, creating the most detailed tracking study of the species ever conducted. Most critically, there was no supplemental feeding or human intervention. The quolls had to survive entirely on their own hunting skills in this new environment. What scientists discovered next revealed something profound about ecosystems. They have memory. Despite 60 years of quoll absence, Boundary's landscape had retained the ecological niches that quolls had evolved to fill. Native prey species, insects, small mammals, birds had persisted without their primary predator, creating an abundant food web awaiting the quoll's return. Soil analysis revealed that areas where quolls historically denned still contained chemical signatures and microhabitat features suitable for the species. The park's 6,400 hectares provided just enough territory for a viable breeding population to establish. GPS data told an astonishing story of rapid adaptation. Within days, quolls began exhibiting natural behaviors, establishing territories, hunting native prey, and avoiding human areas. Within 30 days, tracking revealed complex territorial boundaries forming with minimal conflict between individuals. Camera traps captured quolls successfully hunting native rats, possums, and ground-dwelling birds that had never encountered this predator before. When researchers analyzed scat samples for stress hormones, they found declining cortisol levels over time, indicating successful adaptation to the new environment. Then came the breakthrough nobody expected so quickly. Female quolls typically breed once annually in winter, but Bouderie females began showing breeding behavior ahead of schedule. When researchers conducted careful pouch checks in month 3, they found 6 of the 20 females carrying young, a 30% success rate exceeding all projections. Genetic analysis confirmed these young were sired by released males, proving successful mate selection and territorial establishment. Radiotelemetry showed pregnant females selecting optimal den sites in rock crevices and hollow logs, demonstrating intact maternal instincts despite the entirely new environment. The scientific community needed verification. This wasn't just lucky coincidence. Australian National University's long-term monitoring program confirmed all breeding events through non-invasive genetic sampling of hair and scats. Camera trap data logged over 10,000 quoll sightings across the park, showing animals thriving in diverse habitat types. Veterinary health assessments found released quolls maintaining excellent body condition and showing no signs of nutritional stress. When researchers conducted comparative studies with Tasmanian populations, they found Bouderie quolls exhibiting identical behavioural patterns and breeding success rates, suggesting they had immediately restored their ecological function. The ecosystem impacts were measurable and significant. Small mammal trapping revealed a 40% reduction in introduced rodent populations within quoll territories in just 3 months. Vegetation monitoring showed increased seedling survival in areas with active quoll presence, suggesting restored predation pressure was already benefiting plant communities. Invertebrate sampling indicated recovering native insect communities as quoll predation reduced competition from invasive species. Perhaps most surprisingly, bird nesting success increased 25% in areas where quolls controlled ground-dwelling predators like rats. This success received scientific validation when research published in Conservation Biology confirmed this as the fastest successful marsupial reintroduction on record. The International Union for Conservation of Nature took the extraordinary step of upgrading the species' mainland status from extinct to critically endangered, a rare move backward from the finality of extinction. The Bouderie success triggered funding for 3 additional reintroduction sites across southeastern Australia, with planning already underway. The human dimensions of this success were equally profound. The Wreck Bay Aboriginal community rangers who led the project using traditional ecological knowledge passed down through generations witnessed something their elders had told them about, but many had never seen. Elder Uncle Bunger Smith described seeing quoll tracks for the first time since his childhood, calling it country healing itself. Young Aboriginal rangers gained employment and training in wildlife management, connecting cultural heritage with conservation science. The project strengthened land management partnerships between traditional owners and government agencies in ways previous efforts had failed to achieve. The surrounding community was transformed by this success story. Local school children participated in monitoring programs, learning about ecosystem restoration and Aboriginal culture simultaneously. Tourism to Bouderie increased 30% as visitors came hoping to glimpse the returned marsupials. Volunteer programs expanded as community members wanted to contribute to the recovery effort. Perhaps most importantly, the success inspired similar partnerships between Indigenous communities and conservation organisations across Australia. From an economic perspective, the return on investment was remarkable. The entire reintroduction cost just $180,000 compared to $2.3 million for previous failed attempts using captive-bred animals. Wild-sourced animals showed 85% survival rates versus a dismal 15% for zoo-bred quolls in earlier trials. Natural breeding eliminated the need for expensive captive breeding facilities and veterinary interventions. Analysis showed the success rate per dollar invested was 12 times higher than conventional reintroduction methods. This model has significant replication potential. 3 additional sites in Victoria and New South Wales have already received funding based on Bouderi's proven approach. The protocol is being adapted for other extinct mainland species, including bilbies and bettongs. International conservation organizations are studying the approach for marsupial reintroductions in similar ecosystems worldwide. Economic modelling suggests successful quoll re-establishment across their former range could save millions in pest control costs across southeastern Australia. The deeper lesson from Bouderi challenges our approach to conservation. Sometimes the fastest path to recovery isn't through intensive human intervention, but through trusting what evolution has already perfected. Working with indigenous knowledge and wild animal instincts proved more effective than decades of technological approaches. The quolls didn't need to be taught how to survive, they needed the right environment and freedom from human interference. As Australia faces an extinction crisis with over 100 threatened species, Bouderi proves rapid recovery is possible with the right approach. What happened in 3 months challenges everything scientists thought they knew about reintroduction timelines and species resilience. The quolls didn't just survive, they immediately resumed their evolutionary role as if they had never left. Have you ever seen an eastern quoll? What other extinct species do you think could make similar comebacks? Share your thoughts below, and if this story surprised you, subscribe because we're tracking recovery projects that are rewriting the rules of conservation.